Since the moment I started working at this restaurant 6 months ago, the alleyway behind the restaurant has always given me an uncomfortable feeling. To gain a layout of this restaurant, it's located in the middle of downtown, 5 minutes from the Mexican U.S. border since we're located in the tip of Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. The alley itself is not located right behind the establishment. You must walk past its patio, then past our garage, until you reach the side back door that you have to prop open as the door locks behind you once it's closed. During the day I'll usually see people walking back and forth across the alley when I go to take out the trash. It's typically a safe location, though it is also prominent for its homeless population. They're usually harmless despite a few that are noticeably mentally ill. My colleagues have even gotten to know a few and have given leftovers whenever possible. I work as part of the kitchen staff at this restaurant and most of the time will work past 10 p.m. At night my boss usually never lets the women take out the trash just to be safe, especially a petite 5-foot, Hispanic, 28-year-old female. Anyway, since the quarantine started our kitchen staff has become quite small. So I'll usually help take out the trash with one of the other men working. This night was pretty slow and my fellow co-workers and I were encouraged to clean up and leave early. At around 9:45, I decided to get 2 of the slightly full trash bags and take them out back myself, assuming someone will see my actions and take the other 2 after me. As I walked past the patio to the garage, my gut began to fluster. I got to the back door and paused. Maybe you should wait, I told myself. But the smell protruding from the bags was nauseating. I pushed the door and propped it open with a brick we usually kept nearby. The alley was dark and silent, the air felt menacing. The only light illuminating was from the bulb above the door. I walked quickly to the bins and lifted up the top and dumped the trash. Then slowly a man stood up from the other side of the dumpster. He wasn't very big but he looked a lot older. He was sweating but his demeanor seemed agitated. He must have been crouching and waiting for some time. I jumped back holding my hand above my heart that seemed to be pulsing through my chest. The man looked at me, eyeing me as my steps moved backward. He shook his head motioning me to stop. He was far too close for me to outrun him. I looked at his bushy dark brows and dark black eyes. Most of him were still cloaked in the night that surrounded us. His clothes didn't look homeless, but I still assumed he was since it's common for them to be out here at this hour usually waiting for food. I told him I had no leftovers but he shook his head again and took out a medium-sized knife. My eyes widened as I took in a breath. The following exchange took place in Spanish but I'll translate. I don't have my purse, I was working. I'm still working. Just come with me, he said using his knife as a pointer. My mouth grew maced. Having no idea where this small amount of courage came from I said. My friend coming right now with the rest of the trash. No, come now, he said more hurriedly and stepped closer and I stepped back again. Speaking again with a little more tenacity. They all saw me come over here, there's more trash and he's coming right now. He's outside right now, I just need to yell. You are not going to scream. I'll gut you. To this day I don't know what came over me but I replied with Marame/watch me. We looked at each other. Daring each other. Then we both heard footsteps coming from inside the garage. And he ran past me. I stood there breathing again. I didn't even know I was holding my breath. I turned to see my friend John come out of the door. We're almost done over, he stopped after seeing my face. What happened? I explained everything as tears ran down my face. My friend decided to run down the alley to try to catch him even though I told him not to and that he's gone by now. It was about 5 minutes until he came back. John relayed to me that no one was around except for some homeless guys we were familiar with. He asked them if they saw anyone running from the alleyway and they said yeah but they didn't recognize the man and he took off in the opposite direction towards the border. John took me back inside and told our boss what happened. They called the cops whose station was pretty close by. They sent someone to patrol the area and gather a description from me which I gave. My boss let me leave early and John walked me to my car. He told me it's too bad we don't keep a camera back there. It would have been cool to see how I handled the guy. I smiled slightly but my stomach was still in knots. He looked at me and apologized. I moved my hand to stop him and told him I'll be fine. Unfortunately, I still work there but I've been excused from trash duty from now on. Obviously they never found him. I don't want to think about what would have happened to me if I was more complicit. Something gave me the courage to argue back to him and thank goodness that my friend came out just in time. So man waiting behind the dumpster, I hope we never meet again. Edit, hi everyone. A few notes. My experiences on the Creepy Encounters Reddit because I'm pretty new to Reddit and needed karma points to post on this Reddit thread. I didn't know it was wrong to do that. And I am a creative writer and I did take some liberties when writing about my experience, it's just the way my brain works I suppose. I also didn't know it was wrong to do so. My boss doesn't usually let anyone go out alone at night but I'm stubborn when it comes to getting things done and tend to do things on my own, which I ended up paying for that night. And lastly I do believe I was really lucky, I was already frustrated that day with a couple orders and customers, so I think my non-compliance came from already being stressed out. Anyway, thanks for reading and I hope everyone, man or woman, gained something from this experience.